I'm Allison from Learning at the Primary Pond. I'm a literacy specialist, and in this video, I'm going to explain why Reading Eggs is the perfect app for your literacy centers. Now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead and do that now, and then also hit the little bell so that you're notified every time I post a brand new video about teaching literacy in K2. Okay, so let's talk literacy centers. It can be challenging, right? My classroom experience before I became a literacy specialist was in pre-K, kindergarten, first and second grade, so the little ones. And when kids are that age, it can be really hard for them to work independently. Now, I know that when I was a new teacher, I felt like I was the only person in the world who just couldn't get literacy centers to work. But the reality is that kids forget what to do. They get off task, and this is common. So if you've ever experienced those things where your kid's forgetting what they're supposed to be doing or getting off task, would you please type a yes in the comments? I just want other teachers to see that they're not alone, that it truly is challenging to get kids to stay on task and work well independently during centers or whatever type of independent work you use with your students. So in addition to all of that, so many times I've worried maybe they're on task, maybe they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but are they actually benefiting from the independent practice activities? Are they actually learning even though I'm not there next to them? We want that independent time to be productive. We don't want it to be busy work, of course. Our minutes in the classroom with them are so precious, and we really want to make it count. So this is where the Reading Eggs app can come in and be really helpful. Reading Eggs is an online program that kids ages 2 all the way up through 13 can use, even though we're focusing mostly on K2 or grade levels K2 in this video. It's ages 2 to 13. And at the time that I'm recording this, I'm not the only one who likes Reading Eggs. It's actually used by over 90,000 teachers. So many teachers use this app. Now, Reading Eggs is great for literacy centers for many reasons. Number one, it's engaging for the kids, so they actually want to do it, right? The activities feel like games. It feels like they're playing. Number two, there are guided lessons that are designed to match kids' abilities. So the program will give them a little placement test, which just feels fun to them at the beginning. And then based upon the results of that placement test, they are giving them lessons and activities very specifically tailored to what the child needs. So using the app is almost like they have a teacher right next to them, even though you're pulling your small group and you're occupied elsewhere. When they play the app, it's like they have a teacher right next to them, differentiating instruction, giving them feedback. So that time that they spend, working on it is really valuable. Now, I don't believe in having all their literacy center activities be digital. I'm not a huge proponent in tons and tons of screen time for sure. I think it's important to limit it. That's why I'm choosy about my apps, right? Reading Eggs is a really good use of screen time because it's so focused on the science-based skills that kids need in order to learn to read, and because it meets kids exactly where they're at. Because of that placement test, it's giving them the activities that they need to work on. So it's very, very high quality screen time. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna show you some of what the app looks like, just so you can get a sense of how awesome it is. Okay, so as you can see here, it's very game-like. It really just looks like a video game for them. And when in a moment I'm gonna touch this, it's gonna take this example child to a lesson on a vowel spelling pattern that is based upon what their assessment showed and their progress so far. So it's going along this scope and sequence, which you can actually look at the scope of sequence. This is covering phonics, high frequency words, building fluency, comprehension. So it's working on all of those things. And this particular lesson that we're gonna look at is working on a vowel pattern. Now you can actually go in and change what specific lesson the child is working on, which is really handy in case you want it to match whatever you're working on with the entire class or with that particular child. Okay, so I clicked on the lesson, and what's gonna happen is that this little alligator guy is going to be talking to the kids. He's gonna be giving them directions about what to do, what to click on, and then eventually what happens is that he starts, he's working with long I words with them, and then eventually he explains hey, This is the long I. It's spelled with silent E. He actually goes through how the two vowels are holding hands, and it's a lesson is what it is. So it's reinforcing the skills that you're already teaching. It's presenting it to them in a new and fun way. And again, it's like having a teacher right there next to them. This is really, really high quality literacy practice for the kids because it's so guided, it's interactive, they're clicking on things, right? Like they're touching things, the alligator is eating them. Super fun, but also super helpful for learning phonics. And this, I'm not sure if I said this already, but this covers phonics, high frequency words, comprehension as well. So getting at all those foundational skills. Okay, so that component that I was just showing you was the reading eggs component. There's also, that one is for ages 3 through 7. There's also the fast phonics component for ages 5 through 10. And then there's Reading Express that focuses on comprehension for ages 7 through 13. So it's really all aspects of the reading process. I also want to mention that Reading Eggs got an approval by WIDA Prime, which indicates that this is a good resource for English language learners, which makes sense because there's so many visuals, there's audio directions, the directions are repeated, so if they don't understand it the first time, they have another opportunity. So great for all kids, and that includes our English language learners. So Reading Eggs can fit into your classroom because, I mean, it can fit in many ways, right? But we're talking about literacy centers. You could literally just have a Reading Eggs literacy center that's what the kids do. Another option is maybe the kids have to finish X, Y, and Z activities, and then when they're done, they get to play Reading Eggs. It feels like a reward. It feels like a treat for them, when in reality, it is such great learning, personalized learning, working on all those science-based reading foundational skills. Okay, so if you would like to learn more about Reading Eggs and how it can fit into your classroom, I will include a special link for you along with this video. Feel free to ask questions if you have them as well, but make sure to check that out. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.